You won't believe how narcissists react when you suddenly disappear. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you just disappeared on a narcissist? What do they feel when you ghost them completely, without a word? Well, today, we're diving deep into that question. Get ready, because we're about to explore what really goes through the mind of a narcissist when you vanish without a trace. And I get it, not everyone can simply vanish. Life's complicated, especially if you're dealing with kids, a career, or entangled in a co-parenting situation. But let's think about the what-ifs for a second. What if you just packed up and left, no warning, no explanation? How does that impact a narcissist? We're going to talk about this bold move and the emotional chaos it can stir in a narcissist. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll understand exactly how they react when you disappear from their lives and why they can't handle it. Let's jump in and unravel the truth behind the disappearing act. Many narcissists totally lose it when you leave. The first thing that crosses their mind if you're gone is that you must have moved on with someone else. They immediately assume there's another person involved. In their mind, the only reason you'd leave them is if you were already seeing someone else. They can't believe it could be for any other reason. Why do they think this? Because they would do the same thing. Narcissists typically have someone else lined up or waiting in the wings. They might already have someone emotionally ready to take your place. They don't want to be caught off guard by you leaving. If they've been emotionally preparing for you to go, they may have someone else ready to step in. But if they weren't prepared for you to leave, some of them will rush to find a quick replacement. It might not be someone they plan on keeping around long term, but just someone to fulfill their needs temporarily. They might be looking for someone to distract them, someone to pass the time with, or just a short-term fix. Now, if they weren't expecting you to leave, and they didn't have anyone else lined up, they'll often go to great lengths to find you. They might start reaching out non-stop, calling friends and family, trying to track you down. They'll show up at your job or send messages from different phone numbers, desperate to hear from you. And they'll try to pull on your heartstrings, asking, "Please just let me know you're safe," even though they are the last person you need to be safe from. It's frustrating, but this happens a lot. Narcissists often demand reassurance that you're okay, even though they're the very person you need protection from. It's part of their manipulation, trying to regain control after they feel like they've lost it. However, not all narcissists will come after you if you leave. Some might not try to contact you at all, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you weren't important to them. Sometimes their pride or shame about being rejected is too much for them to handle. They might feel so humiliated by your departure that they won't reach out. Even if they wanted to, their ego holds them back. But for some of you, that can leave you feeling anxious, wanting that narcissistic fix. Where they don't reach out, it can trigger a longing to reconnect, even if you've cut them off for good. It's important to remember that reaching out to them is not a reflection of your worth. If you've got no contact, stick to it, even if they don't try to hoover you back in. It's easy to get caught up in the need for validation, but true healing comes from breaking free from the cycle. You might start second-guessing yourself. Maybe I made a mistake. It's easy to get confused. You might think, maybe they're not really a narcissist. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe I left the person I was supposed to be with. And then some of you might end up reaching out again, only to fall right back into that toxic cycle. So, what happens next? If you go back to them after disappearing, they'll know you've got one foot out the door. That's when some of them will pull out all the stops and try to love bomb you to keep you around. Others might act sweet while they secretly look for someone to replace you. In fact, some narcissists will love bomb you while actively trying to find someone else. They know that if you left once, you could do it again. That fear of you leaving again makes them feel threatened. So they'll do whatever it takes to hold on to you, all while trying to find someone else to take your place. You might be wondering, what do you mean by do something to keep me? Well, they might try to tie you down financially, like getting you to make some big commitment, or even getting pregnant. If you haven't already married, they might push for that, making you feel like you can't leave because now you're bound to them with a baby on the way. They want to make your life even more difficult. So, if you already have kids and go back to them, they might try to have another child just to make it harder for you to walk away. Instead of just dealing with 1 or 2 kids, you'll end up with more, making it even harder to leave. Some narcissists will go as far as trying to baby trap you. And yes, baby traps work. If they didn't, people wouldn't keep using them. If you go back, they'll try to trap you in this way. For the narcissist, if you ghost them or disappear, it's incredibly embarrassing and hurtful to their pride. They're in shock and become erratic, sometimes even dangerous. As I mentioned earlier, if they think you found someone else, it can make them act out aggressively. They might talk calmly to your friends or family, saying things like, "I just need to know where she is," or "Can you tell me where he is?" But their real intent might be much darker. They want to hurt you. They're dealing with a lot of shame, which they feel is your fault, even though they caused it. If you escape their abuse, they'll want to make sure you don't get away. They'll think you're going to expose them, or that you've moved on. All these thoughts swirl around in their mind, which can make them lose control. In some cases, they could even have a psychotic break and try to track you down to hurt you. That's why it's crucial to be careful, especially if you have kids. If you're planning to leave and feel like it's unsafe to tell them, make a plan. Let someone close to you know, and make sure they can help you. This is important. If you feel like leaving could put you in danger, take the necessary steps to protect yourself. It's essential to take charge of your own life. You must keep pushing forward and summon all the strength you can muster in challenging times, because protecting your inner peace is non-negotiable. You need to safeguard your well-being and that of your children. If you don't, who else will? The narcissist might act as though they care about your safety, but their actions rarely reflect genuine concern. Their idea of safety isn't about protecting you from harm. It's about maintaining control over you while continuing to hurt you. They'll try to manipulate the situation, pretending to be your savior. They'll promise things like, "Come back to me, and I'll change, I swear." But here's the twist. If you choose to leave, they won't just think you found someone else. They'll fear that you're about to expose them for what they truly are. So often, they'll begin to make false promises of transformation when you're no longer in their orbit. They'll start reaching out to you, bombarding you with texts. They may even begin to make changes around the house, painting walls, purchasing new furniture, or upgrading the TV, things they neglected to do while you were there. These are not genuine efforts, rather, they're calculated moves to draw you back into their web. It's a strategy to leave breadcrumbs of false empathy, tempting you back into the toxic cycle where they can continue their manipulation and cause you more pain. It's so important to protect your peace, your energy, and everything that truly matters to you. Always remember, you are your biggest advocate. Thank you so much for being here and for watching until the very end. I'm genuinely grateful for each and every one of you. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this message. Every like and share helps us build a stronger community. I'm so thankful for your support. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay grounded, and keep moving forward. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.